In this video, we're going to look at histograms. We're going to start with how to draw a histogram, and then in the next videos after this, we'll look at how to interpret them and how to understand them. Okay, so here's a question. The weight W grams of a random sample of 60 carats of a variety A is summarized in the table below. Draw a histogram to illustrate these data. So you may remember from GCSE that on our x-axis we have whatever units we're measuring. So in this case it would be weight. So I've got the potential weights down here. And on the y-axis we have the frequency density. And the important feature of histograms is that the area is the frequency. We're actually going to see in the next video that area is not always exactly equal to it, it's proportional to it. But for now we're going to draw a histogram where area is equal to frequency. So what we need to do is add a row to this table where we've got frequency density. Frequency density. Now, what is frequency? How do we work it out? Well, since area of a histogram is frequency, we know that frequency must be, the area must be equal to the base, which is the units given, or the width, multiplied by the height, which is the frequency density. So dividing both sides by the width, we get that frequency density is equal to the frequency divided by the class width. So that's what we're going to do here. In each case, we're just doing the frequency divided by the class width, and that's going to tell us what the frequency density is. So we're going to do 11 divided by 20 here, and we'll just go through each of them doing that. So 11 divided by 20 is 0.55. And then we're going to do 10 divided by a class width of 10, so that's 1. 18 divided by a class width of 10 is 1.8. 14 divided by a class width of 10 is 1.4. And 7 divided by a class width of 10 is 0.7. Now, it's often left to you to draw a sensible scale on your y-axis. So I'd look at what your biggest frequency density is, and then round up to the nearest nice, easy to work with number. In our case, I'd say 2, and see if we can have this scale going up to 2 somehow. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I could say that this is 2 up here. And that means that this is 1. And then I've got 1.5 here. 0.5 here, and I know that I've just got to go up in increments of 2 little squares, so that's 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1, like that. Okay, now I can start to draw my histogram. So I want my first histogram box to go between 30 and 50 and have a height of 0.55. Okay, so 0.55 is here, so I want it to go up to this point. So I'll come down to 30 and I want it to go all the way up to 50. Now, of course, you would be doing this with a ruler and a pencil. Because I'm doing it on the computer, it's hard for me to draw straight lines freehand, so it's a little bit messier than you would do it. Now, the next one goes from 50 to 60 and should have a height of 1. So I want my next box to go all the way up to 1, and it should be from 50 to 60. So my width is 10 there. And the next one goes from 60 to 70 and has a height of 1.8. So this one's going to go all the way up to 1.8. So it's 1.56, 1.7, 1.8. So it's going to go up to there. And really do take your time when you're looking at how tall to make these histograms, because a common way to lose marks is just to simply not draw accurately enough. Now that's a bit rich coming from me who's trying to draw this freehand, doing my best, but it needs to be as neat as possible. Next one has a height of 1.4 from 70 to 80, so that's 1.4 is here. And down we go. And the last one has a height of 0.7, so 0.7 is here. And that's from 80 to 90. All right, so there is my histogram. So in this situation, our area is equal to our frequency, and we make sure that we calculate the frequency density, and that's what's plotted on the y-axis. So we should even label that here. This is the frequency density over on the y-axis. All right, in the next video, we're going to look at how to interpret histograms. So I'll see you there.